Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with some Euro USD weekly analysis for week starting Sunday the 17th of February 2013. You're looking at a Euro USD 8-hour chart. I've started using the 8-hour chart for my analysis recently, and that's because the 8-hour chart seems to have smoother price action, so it's easier to read. But any analysis on the 8-hour chart, because we're looking at support and resistance, is valid on smaller timeframes and larger timeframes. So this is valid on 4 hour, 1 hour, even 30-minute, and it's valid on the daily, the weekly, etc. So I'm going to be taking a look at some support and resistance areas in this analysis. Support and resistance areas are areas in which price usually struggles to move through and a lot of the times reverses. So I'm going to be looking at support resistance, show you where I possibly plan on entering some reversal trades. Now last week, I talked about the 134.70 through to the 134.90 or 135.00, so that's this one here. Now this resistance area is again valid this week, but last week we got a pretty good trade from this one. Now I entered this trade, I entered short after price bounced from here. I entered this on the 4-hour chart. It looks a little better on the 4-hour chart. Let me show you. So this is the same resistance area on the 4-hour chart. Now we can see price came up to here. Initially it bounced away. I didn't enter here because I didn't get a clear sign of indecision. But then price came back up, and here I got a clear sign of indecision. Now that was just telling me right then and there that the bulls tried to push up, but they just didn't make it. They just couldn't sustain that bullish movement. They got pulled back down by the bears. So buyers tried to break through, they couldn't make it, sellers pulled them back down. So that indicated that there was sellers in this market, and this is where I got ready to enter a reversal trade. And I actually entered the trade on this candle here when it broke the low of the indecision candle, and this trade ended up being worth roughly 100 pips. I think it was more like 90 pips to be honest, but it was a really good trade, this one. So this is how I use my support and resistance areas. Now let's switch back to the 8-hour chart, and I'll show you the resistance areas for this week and then the support areas. So I'm going to start with resistance. Resistance is always above current price, and current price is where price closed last week. So the first resistance area we have this week is the same as last week. This one here. So that's the 134.70 through to the 135.00. Now this is a very strong resistance area. It acted well as support recently. We got several bounces here, and last week, like I said, we got an awesome trade here. So it acted well as resistance last week. So if price comes back up here this week and we get some clear signs of indecision, I'll probably enter a short trade here. So I'm going to be looking for short trades from this area here. The next resistance area we have on Euro USD is the 136.50 through to the 136.90. That's this one here. Now this resulted in a trade recently too. This resulted in this trade here, which was another pretty good trade. So this is another strong resistance area. It has some pretty nice history, especially this here, but if you go back further it also has some nice history in the past. So there are definitely sellers here grouped up in this area. If buyers come up to this area, so if they manage to push through here, come up to this area, I'll be looking for signs of indecision to possibly enter a short reversal trade. Okay, and finally we have the 137.90 through to the 138.20. So that's this one here. This is another strong resistance area. It has quite a bit of history. It's acted well as both support and resistance. It's definitely sellers grouped up in this area, so if buyers manage to push up to here, I'll be looking for signs of indecision so I can enter a short reversal trade. Okay, so that's the resistance areas for this week. Let's look at some support areas. First support area we have is this one here, the 133.60 through to the 133.80. Now this is a pretty strong area of support, although last week price did break through it here, but then it came back up to it and started acting as resistance. So we can see it acted as support recently here, and it has acted as both support and resistance in the past. We can see some minor resistance here, Took a while for price to break through it and then eventually broke through it. So this week is kind of acting as support. It could be resistance. It's really hard to tell because price closed on top of it. So this could either be support or resistance, technically speaking, but we'll just consider it a support area for now. If price opens on top of here, there are still buyers here, so it is possible that it could push up. I'm not confident enough in that to take a trade. So I'm not confident enough to actually go long here based on the fact that this is support. It's risky because so much can have happened over the weekend. I mean, this could go either way. So this is a support area, but I won't be trading it unless price first moves up and then comes back down to it. So if price comes back down, then I'll be looking to take some bullish reversal trades here. Price comes down, indecision forms, I might jump in long. The next support area we have for Euro USD is the 132.40 through to the 132.60, this one here. This has acted well as support recently. We could see some, just a few bounces here, not that much, but if you go back further, there's been several bounces here. If the sellers get down to here, I'll be looking for some signs of indecision. I'll be looking for buyers to enter the market here. Now, finally, we have this area of support here. This is the 131.30 through to the 131.50. This is another strong area of support. If sellers manage to push down to here, I'll be looking for some signs of indecision so I can enter a bullish reversal trade. So that wraps it up for the support and resistance this week on Euro USD. I'll be in the chat room pretty much all week this week, so jump in the chat room if you want to catch some live trades with me. Other than that, have a great trading week. See you around the site.